I was just on a booth at a convention, and well, I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons and some of the little things that we can change to make it even better for the next time. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, my name's Luke, and in this video I sort of just want to talk about my experiences of being on a booth at a convention. Now the whole plan was I was going to make a vlog, I was going to do this and this, but well, it was kind of a bit hectic and well, it never happened. So basically I just wanted to walk through what I did, my experiences of being on it, just in case someone ever was going to one of these cons and needed to just sort of know what was going on. So basically I was invited from a Nest Eye Water to Oz Comic Con Sydney. They took me there, I was on their booth, I brought the Mark II, I bought my Namor headdress, my Galactus, Doctor Doom and Namor. And then basically was explaining everything to anyone who was interested, talking about how I use their products within my projects. Going through all of my side of the HVLP gun, spraying all my chromes, my black, the clear coats, the candies, and then also talking about the airbrushing side where I take all of the airbrushes of Createx colors and that sort of stuff, and then do my weathering. I also was more getting into the side of doing the 3D printing side, just sort of what it takes to take a 3D print, prep it, sand it and prime it, so that then it's ready for paint to then pull off a massive project. Now going on to this, I was super excited for this. I was not sleeping at all because I was that excited. And well, I get there and well, it's pretty much what I thought it would be. It's very hectic and it's a lot of fun, but it also shows you the side that not everyone appreciates what you do. A lot of people don't understand what time and work and that sort of stuff goes into at these sorts of conventions. Where I post it onto YouTube or Instagram, people see how much work goes into it because they're seeing all those behind the scenes, all of the painting, all of the prep and all of this sort of stuff, and they're interested in doing that. Whereas people at these sorts of conventions just assume they pull it off the printer like that, which a lot of people actually genuinely thought, which is concerning. But it was also crazy fun at the exact same time. Some people would care about what you've done. They were so invested in seeing what prep work went into that and what paints and how this was all achieved, all of the electronics, and I tell you, the Bluetooth feature that I had set into all of the helmet, the back flaps, the missile, the Mark 47, where I could control it all wirelessly, was a massive hit. People love seeing a finished project with electronics. It's simple as that. But also people just don't see all that behind the scenes work. Next time when I'm at a booth or a convention like this, I want to be showing those behind the scenes. Very similar to what I do on my YouTube, showing you what paints the files and all of that sort of stuff. I feel like having something like that alongside these projects, alongside you and an amazing team, would be really insightful. Just letting people see how those things are made and not just, well, pulled off a 3D printer, painted and finished exactly like that. So that's the first thing I'm going to say when you're on these sorts of booths, and now I look back on this, I definitely would try and do that. I'd have a screen, I'd maybe try and do more little info bits, just so people were actually aware of how much effort and time goes into these sorts of things. Because a lot of people thought I could pull an Iron Man suit off in a couple weeks, where it's a couple months. The other thing I found was displaying these things. Now, I obviously make my PVC pipe stands. I have a YouTube tutorial, leave that down in the description, of making these armor stands, and that way I can actually display my suits and stands, and they just are on a base, meaning they don't tip forwards and backs, and they're really easy to move. But when it came to something like my Namor headdress, well, you've seen that in that YouTube tutorial. The head itself is just propped up on a nice 3D printed head, and well, looks really, really good when on display. But it's how you display something like a Galactus, the Doom, or the Mark 47. It's not the easiest. Now, I just went with Galactic Armory's 3D printing files of the stand, a wooden dowel, and like a little pommeled piece. This way everything just sort of locks in and holds together. And this way I can control all of the motorization. I can take the things on and off really easily, able to move everything super easy. So if you're ever on one of these booths or want to display it, these helmet stand sort of things are a really, really good solution. You can see how well they look in these photos. But also do stay tuned because Day3D is working on a new file set of making these stands for yourself where you can hang them on the wall, put them on the on like a table, exactly what I did, I will mention that they are going to be customized to like Iron Man and Marvel and Star Wars and this and that. So if you are interested in how to display your helmets, stay tuned because that video should be coming out in, well, at least the next month. So that was the other thing that was really good, is how we display the helmets. And lastly, now I was originally going to try and wear these sorts of things around the con and sort of see it on me, but I just never really got around to doing it. And it's also so busy, people want to be able to see it up close and personal and not really on your head, because people don't really want to get really close to you. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is I think I really need something like a demonstration next time. I want to try and bring a helmet where I can weather it on the site. Now, there was an incredible artist named Damien. Here is his Instagram. He's incredibly talented. I don't know if you could see it, but hiding up there, here's a photo of it. He actually gave me an airbrushed Iron Man painting. It was absolutely incredible, and I cannot thank him enough for that. But it's showing what he does on his side of the part where he will airbrush painting. So he was doing these while on the booth. You also had other guys painting model kits or skateboards and that sort of stuff on the set. So I think the next time I do one of these sorts of things, I want to try and do it and airbrush a helmet or do some weathering on a helmet on the booth, so people can see those sorts of effort that goes into this. So that's pretty much it that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to make a video and just sort of get my thoughts out, give it to you guys, and then I can also look back on this video and sort of see what I could and should do better. But I hope this video sort of just brings something to you, maybe a thought about being on a booth, trying to get onto a booth, and my experiences of being on a booth. So I know this week isn't very based on like building stuff, but next week we will be back for a Spider-Man helmet and also a web shooter built into that one. I'm very, very excited for that video. And then the following month we got some bangers coming. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you next week.